Accountability, so important. The buck stops with you. I always use the example, you get a memo, your executive signs it, you send it to the next office. The executive assistant at that office bounces it back to you because there's a mistake. The accountable assistant says, apologies, I didn't pick up the mistake. But most assistants will say, I didn't draft the memo, so it's not my problem. And that's not accountability. So we've got to have the perception or the world view that the buck stops with us. When you take that level of accountability, people tend to respect you more. People tend to see you as a professional. So this raises the bar and enhances your brand. Mistakes are acknowledged and fixed. I don't blame you. I don't blame somebody else. I don't hide behind anything. My executive and I had a wonderful little routine. When I had made a mistake, I would send her a WhatsApp saying, confession time. And it was always funny how quickly she phoned me. And then I would lay all the cards on the table and say, okay, I'm ready to take my hiding. This is what's happened, but this is my plan to fix it, or this is what I've already done to fix it. Mistakes are human, are natural. We all try to avoid them whenever possible, but I have made big mistakes in my career. It's not about the mistake. It's about owning up and fixing the mistake. Another wonderful way to show your accountability is to own your customer end to end. Now, this can be, remember, in my point of view, when I talk about customers, I talk about every stakeholder in your world, whether that's your executive, your team, or a client. Okay. When the client has a problem and I take ownership of that client, I will push through until the end, until that thing is resolved and everybody's happy. Even if it's delegated to another team, I will follow up and take the responsibility to drive that request. And that's the difference between an operational assistant who just sends it off to another team and then makes it their problem. A tactical assistant is there to produce results. So you then chase it until it's finished and the client is happy. It's a much better experience for everyone. Accountability also, you need self-discipline. And I think where I agree with the strategic viewpoint is you need to manage yourself like a business. So you have to have a strategy for your own career and what you want to achieve. But you will not achieve anything without a high level of self-discipline. Now, especially in the future world with AI and robotics coming online in significant ways, the disruptive technologies and the companies who are changing the landscape, we need to start working without instructions or supervision. I need to be a specialist contractor doing my job without somebody peering over my shoulder. And now, folks, if you are not working in this tactical space, you're working in the operational space, they will find somebody cheaper to replace you. Because if you're waiting for instructions, you're not adding that value that they can't just find somebody else to do. So we've got to think about how we become more autonomous, how we start creating the work we need to do today. Once you have that alignment, remember we said we can decentralize because we know what we're trying to achieve. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. You are a CEO. And as the CEO of your company, you are accountable for your own output, your own return on investment to your clients. So that's how I want you to start operating. Take responsibility. It's so easy when a project comes your way and the boss says, you would be perfect for this. Please join the team. To back away from that and say, I'm not qualified, I'm not this, I'm not that. That imposter syndrome immediately kicks in. Instead of doing that, I want you to take responsibility. You step up to the plate and you say, yes, I will give it my best shot. I will learn as I go, but I will own the results and I will be responsible. I love the quote that says you can have results or excuses, but you can't have both. And this is the cornerstone of accountability. There are so many things we want to do, whether it's our own goal setting in our lives or projects in our offices. And if if you only wait to work on the days you feel good or you feel up to it, you're not going to get results. So when you are tempted to make an excuse, think about the results you really want. And then be solution focused. I think so many of our execs are so overwhelmed because people come to their offices all day with problem after problem after problem. Be that breath of fresh air. Come into the office with, this is the problem and this is the solution I suggest. That's a much better approach, much better for your brand. It shows that you've applied your mind, you've intelligently analyzed what's in front of you, and you've come forward with a suggestion. So I really want to emphasize that that's a very important way to take accountability.